I work here in town as a speech and language pathologist, and I really love to talk in general, and I really love to help other people talk. So I have a question for you. Can strong speech and language skills create baby geniuses? The answer is yes. I'll tell you right now, 100% yes, it can. Okay, so let's first look at some data to support that. These really prominent researchers in education got together and they looked at kids for a really long time, and a whole bunch of them. There's my empirical terminology for you. And they said, what impacts education positively? How do kids succeed? And some of the findings really supported speech and language. And so the first finding was IQ. Higher IQs correlate back to how many words kids heard from ages 0 to 5. Just words, just talking. And then the second finding was kids ages 9 and 10 with high academic achievement were spoken to a ton as babies and toddlers. And then the third kind of just supports the same thing. Overall life achievement in kids in grade school went back to how much they were spoken to, or how much they were read to, or how much music they heard. Okay, so why? Why is that happening? Something happens in kids when they're little, and it varies greatly with the ages and the time frame, but from 0 to 5, there's something called fast mapping that happens. And fast mapping is when kids are hearing all of these kinds of words, and they're this little baby scientist in the crib, and people are talking and singing to them, and they're owning and understanding every single word that is being thrown at them. So in relation to where you're sitting right now, think about sitting there since 9:30 and hearing every single TED Talk and every single idea and every single term until 4:30 or when this ends, and then you go out into the community and you can repeat everything you heard and understand it and know it. And that's what happens with babies and toddlers and preschoolers. They can do that for a period of time in their life, okay? So that can kind of support why maybe kids that hear more have higher academic achievement, because they've heard more, they've understood more, and they own it. So let me give you a little scenario as to what kinds of words I'm talking about, because it's more specific than just random words being thrown out all around them. So let's pretend I'm holding a baby, okay? And let's say that her name is baby Jolyn, and she's turning 1 today, okay? So I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to get my phone out, I'm going to start posting a bunch of stuff on Facebook, and I'm holding the baby, and I'm posting, and I'm liking, and I'm scrolling, and posting, and liking, and scrolling, and posting, and liking. And I'm not talking to the baby, okay? So let's look at scenario 2. I'm going to hold baby Joe, and I'm going to sing her happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, baby Joe, happy birthday to you. So when I'm singing to her, she's loving that melodic intonation of my voice, and she's hearing that, and she's learning those words. She's putting all of those little sentences together, okay? And then I'm also looking at her, and it's meaningful to her that I'm looking at her because there's eye contact, okay? So how many of those words do you think a child needs to hear a day to get into the heard a lot category to help out their academic achievement? 143? 800? How about 20,000 words per day? So a child, to really have a head start once they get to kindergarten, needs to have heard 20,000 words, meaningful conversational words, a day to get into that talk to a lot category. So how do we get there? We can read to our baby. We know that. Read, read, read. You can sing to your baby or your toddler or your preschooler, and you can talk to your baby. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay? So let's talk about reading. If you get out a picture book and you're scrolling through the pictures, they're seeing those pictures and they're making a connection with them. So not only are they building their huge lexicon, they're learning so many vocabulary words, they're also hearing how to put sentences together. So then they can go and reproduce that. Let's think back to the fast mapping, okay? So they're just owning those words. Then if we sing to the baby, we've got that melodic intonation that babies really love to hear, or preschoolers or toddlers love it, okay? So we can take lots of songs. You can take the songs in your car, you can take preschool songs like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and fun fact, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and the ABC song and Ba Ba Black Sheep all have the same tune. So if you get tired of singing those, you can kind of change it up a bit and sing whatever you want, like, You have a booger in your nose, I need to clean it right now, or whatever you want to do to make it meaningful to them, okay, because they're going to get bored of the same song lyrics all the time anyway. But you can do this, you're thinking, how am I going to get 20,000 words in a day? You can do it when you're feeding them breakfast. You can do it in the car. You can do it at dinner time, or bath time is a great time to get some of those words in, and it's really meaningful to them when you're singing. There's a third way, kind of more speechy teaching way to help out kids when they're learning to talk, and that's expansion and extension. So when a little boy or a little girl says, "Oh, look at the car go," you can say, "Yep, the car went fast." So you can kind of pull that sentence out and add more words to it so it's syntactically correct, and they're understanding, "Oh, I can use more words in my sentence too." We can extend what they say. So if a little girl says, "Oh, car go," you can say, "Yup, the red truck went really, really fast." So you can add adjectives, and you can encourage them to use descriptor words and new verbs and how fast they went. And that's how they learn to talk. And that's how they learn once they get into 5th grade what a synonym is or an adverb. That's how they learn to use language. And that's how they learn to read and write. So let's look at a couple little pictures here. So this first one, those are my naughty kids, okay, and they are sitting there in meaningful conversation and deep in potty talk right there, because I think he found a little nugget at recess, and he decided to come back and tell his sister. But does that count for meaningful conversation? Of course it does. A 7-year-old talking to his sister at 5 totally counts. Okay, that's meaningful, engaged conversation. She's getting part of her 20,000 words right there. Now let's look at the second picture. Totally plugged in. How much talk is happening right there? So is screen time impacting the 20,000 word goal? It is, negatively. And don't get me wrong, may the force be with you if you have a 4-year-old, because I wanted to give my 4-year-old the iPad and a bag of candy one day and just say, just don't stop until you reach the 8-hour mark. But I get it. Like, I can wear my hypocrite hat, but still, a lot of screen time can really negatively impact language, knowing that the more words they hear, the better off they're going to do on their math test in 8th grade. And the cost of that. Let's talk about the cost of that. If you have to download a new movie, or if you have to download the latest educational app to help your baby learn, or the latest upgrade for Minecraft, or the next Realm or skins, or whatever you're supposed to do, that adds up. Think about that. Like $2 upgrade, a new $3 math app. Add that up, and that kind of gets expensive. But then think about, how much did it cost me to sing to Baby Joe? It was free. Completely free. How much does it cost to sing about boogers in the car? Totally free and totally valuable. So I'm telling you to take that knowledge and go tell someone about it. Go tell them. Go talk to your baby. If you know someone expecting, if you know a new mommy and daddy outside in the community, talk to your baby. If you know a nana and a papa that kind of takes care of preschoolers at home during the day, or a daycare provider, go sing to your baby. Go tell anyone you can for their educational development, because we know that's all you have to do. Thank you.